Welcome to Goalie Share. So we're back here with Chris Economo and Eric Hofberg. Thanks, guys, for joining us. And this time of year is that time of year, right? It's the end of the season. We're coming into the playoff stretch here for a lot of teams. We're wrapping up seasons for teams. And we wanted to just give some fresh perspective and just kind of make you think a little bit about how to communicate with your goaltender and with some ideas that you can use to make sure your goaltender's ready to go for this time of year. So I think let's start. Let's kick it over to Econ. Econ, let's just start with communication with your goaltender. Where do you start with a goalie coming into this time?
Well, every goalie is different, and obviously you've already spent a full season with your guy, so you should have some idea about what he does when you yell at him, what he does when you leave him alone. You should have an idea where he is mentally all the time. So, there's no right or wrong answer here. It's more about awareness for me. Sometimes you got to give him love. Sometimes you got to get on him to get him to play. And as head coach, it's your job to figure that out. But I know that it's an important time of the year. There's a couple things going on. You have playoffs, and everyone's trying to get to the Nationals. You got some kids who are thinking about tryouts and where they're going to play next year before the season even ends. So if you have to deal with that situation, you want to make sure that your goalie's mind is clean going into the playoffs, and that he's not messed up thinking about something that doesn't matter quite yet. So there's a lot of things going on.
I think you have to ask yourself as a head coach, like it's what Econ's saying, your goalie, does your goalie need to be settled down right now? Does your goalie need to be complimented right now? Does your goalie need to be kind of amped up because, you know that he needs to be reminded that these are the best moments of all when it comes to being a competitor? So you got to kind of ask yourself, and I think Econ's making a point, where's he at? Where is your goalie at right now? Where's their mindset? What do they need? One of the things that I just think about right now is the idea of reminding, if you've got a quality goaltender right now and you're heading into the playoffs and you've got good goaltending, I think a great reinforcement is to remind the goalie that be able to say to a goaltender, you've been working so hard all year, you've been great in practice, you've worked hard in games, you're totally ready here for this next challenge. Kevin, you were talking about just your own goalies and where they're at, and that they're playing great and they really are ready in that. And so sometimes I think we just need to reinforce that. I also like the idea of just helping keep it really simple around the idea of, hey, is there anything more, is it really more complicated than this? Isn't it just as simple as this? One puck focus, make saves. It's a huge game, but it doesn't matter how big a game it is. We got to go into it just thinking about one thing, and that is make saves. So let's just go make saves. But I think coaches, ask yourself, slow down and ask yourself, what does my goaltender need? What do my goaltenders need right now? And then deliver that. Give that. Is it encouragement? Is it a confidence boost? Is it a little bit of a little bit of a challenge on your part that they need to step up? Is it a reminder, of how well they've done and what they've been like, and how that perfectly equips them for what's next?
Right now, I'm doing two things with all my guys. I want them to compete on every puck, and I want them to execute. So, like, all the training that they've done over the lifespan of their goaltending career, they have the tools. I want them to use them. I want them to execute with their movement, and I want them to compete on every puck. And if they're doing those two things, they're going to be really successful.
Yeah, no, it's good. And Hoff, you talked about knowing what your goaltender needs and that feeling of that. And, one of the things that I'll just share with my guys is they need a light feeling, right? So they don't play well when it's a big, heavy, when you overhype something to them. So just that simple communication, like, hey, let's just go out. And I like that. I think you said, single save, right? Make the next save. That's it. Just go out and play the game. Have fun. Make it feel easy for them, make it feel light, that it's not blown up, and clear the head around anything else that might be going on in their head right now. And Econ touched on some that I know are prevalent in a lot of teams, and that's tryouts for next season, the pressure of trying to earn the start, or so many different dynamics that go on here. And so I think that definitely being conscious of their feeling and what that is, what they're bringing into the game. You don't want that to be too heavy.
Right. And I think a helpful way to do that is even that, I think with certain athletes as a coach, one of the things that we can say to them is, man, I'm really looking forward to seeing you play today. This is going to be a great game. And, you don't need to be perfect out there, but I know that you can be great. And I know that you're going to be. This is exactly your type of game. And I just want you just to think about, just do your best and be a great leader back there for us. Make certain you're being vocal. Make certain you're communicating. And when I say to you, go out there and enjoy this, you understand what I'm saying? I just want you to go out there and just play. Just think and play freely. Just have at her. It's all good. The best part is the action. Don't worry about the outcome. That's going to take care of itself. And again, just by almost giving that light, like you say, by leading with the idea of, man, I'm excited to see you play today. What a great thing for a head coach, to say to the goaltender. I'm not saying to the goaltender, you better play well or else we're in trouble. I'm saying I'm excited to see you compete. And really, actually, aren't we? Really, truly, if we've got some good goaltending going, we are excited to see our goaltender get in there. And I think it's so important to give them that. I do also that there's some goalies that do want that challenge in that, and that's the fun of being the coach, is to find the way, is to kind of figure it out and to understand that. Econ, I think also sometimes just talking to the goalie and to them, how do you feel, also gives us a chance to be a better coach. How you doing? How you feeling? What are you thinking?
Leave it open-ended, and then you'll find out by his answer. It's almost like playing poker. You ask him a question and you find out where he's at. So. Right. Yeah, it's great to communicate with your goalie. You have to figure out how you want to communicate as the head coach, but just ignoring them is not the right answer, and screaming at them and putting undue pressure on them is not the right answer. You got to figure it out somewhere in the middle.
Right. Yep, absolutely. And I know, like, one little example, just even acknowledging the goaltender, right? And a lot of times head coaches, they get so wrapped up in the X's and O's for the forwards and the D that you leave the goaltender out. And sometimes even the simple comment of, hey, I know you're going to play great for us today in net, so let's make sure forwards that we're getting two guys on the puck or whatever, as you lead in, just give them that acknowledgement, let them feel that love.
Right. Econ, do a little bit of language just on it, to talk to the goalies and that. If it was really a goalie talk right now, you have all these goalies that are at your Goalie Guru Academy there, and if you had them all in front of you right now, and you could only say a couple, 2, 3 things, I'm sure, what would you be talking about? Hey, first and foremost, you got to be tracking your biggest commitment.
Tracking's number one on the list for sure. I mean, quite honestly, most coaches don't care how you stop the puck as long as you're stopping it. So. If you're tracking it, you're usually stopping it. Skating is a huge thing for goalies. Arrive early, in position. So it would be tracking, skating, and then a lot of guys will say, "Hey, just give us a chance to win. Just give us a chance. Make the next save. Give us a chance. Keep us in it. Something like that." And if you keep it simple like that, I mean, every goalie's going to relate to that.
Right. And I'm saying just give us a chance to win. We're saying you don't need to be perfect, right? And I think, yeah. And I love it when you talk about and just good simple things like tracking, skating, give us a chance to win. It's to bring order to the game, right? Because that's what a great goalie is doing. I want to bring order to my own game so that I can bring order for my team in that. And I just think that these good simple call-outs with a good sense of encouragement, good confidence in who they are, is what's most important right now.
Yep, absolutely. Well, hopefully we've given you some good things to think about for your goaltender as you guys go into the home stretch here. And we look forward to getting Econ and Hoff back with us for the next Goalie Share.